Okay, so I was just, meditating, testing, meditating, oopsie, because while I was, sort of deciding to start my day, in a way that I wanted, instead of just, jumping up and, like, hold on, don't just go, just slow your go, which meant, like, okay, I had people coming at once again, I've come to understand that part of it is what I'm doing during my quote dream time, when I'm more expandable, that takes energy, and sometimes, depending, just for a long time, I would wake up tired. I'm like, whew, why am I so tired? Well, I wasn't deep sleeping according to science and tests, but I was instantly dreaming, like almost immediately, and I knew that by then, I would still be awake, but and it was most obvious when I was in a relationship and in a bed sleeping with someone, that I would be sort of drifting to sleep and starting to dream, but then a foot in each world, a root of consciousness in the awake and the sleep. But that's sort of my job description, so it makes sense that that's part of what that how that manifests. But I also, another aspect of that is, I used to just be able to go from asleep to boink, like awake and bing, like fully awake and ready to go, do, and, maybe it was starting to, focus on confirmation, focus on the, like, I'm not sleeping how other people are sleeping, instead of just, like, before I sort of pathologized that, though I didn't, it was a result of other people, their needs of me, and my ability to help to, or be there, or when I was still working for other people, in the traditional sense, I had to be at work at whatever o'clock. So what I would try to do was tailor my jobs so that I could show up when I was supposed to, which for me has always been later in the day, And then very often, in the awakeness cycles that we sort of live by, if we live in society, is, and if we don't, those, if you don't have those extraneous pressures, requirements of you, then you're able to, more naturally live your own truth of, your circadian rhythms, your sleep-wake cycles, and, but, yeah, I was always, a night person. I used to, when I was very little, and, part of it was, that's just my natural sort of time flow, optimal, whatever. But, when you're a little kid, you're supposed to go to bed at bedtime and, stay there, stay put, give mom and dad a break, or the babysitter, or grandma, or, your group home workers, or, it's like, woof, being a mom, I get that, oh, I can't wait for this kid to go to bed. Well, for me, she did go to bed until her bedroom was co-opted by friends of the family, and then from, I think she was 4 when that happened. I can't say for sure, but she was in her own big girl bed, twin bed. We just skipped the little bed and just put a twin bed that she could get in and out of. I think she was I don't remember right now, the process of that upgrade, whether she was, trying to crawl out of her crib or what, but anyway, so yeah, it was a thing that, once she was down, obviously, I was still on duty with the monitor and the whatnot, but that became, my personal time, my, partner time, my wife time, to do with my energy things other than, help the needs and help guide and keep clean and fed and, played and all of the things that, being a mom is, or, a dad, whatever. I'm just speaking my own experience. That's when I could, quick clean the house, and then do me, whatever. Because that was expected of me, that, that was my role, was, partner and parent. And with the time left over, I was, who I was, doing this kind of stuff, on that path until, you know, I took the path of a relationship and left Kauai, and yeah, but I never got off of this path. It was just kind of, you know, as I said, it was in the hierarchy of needs of me, not, you know, my needs, so to speak, you know. Until you get beyond time, which, you know, is easier to do when you have the time to do it, ironically. Then you realize, oh, okay, wait a minute, if I put on my own oxygen mask in every scenario, then guess what? Everything else not only continues to function, but functions better. It's more optimal. And that's not, you know, selfish, self-delusion. I ask people, you know, my daughter specifically, like, okay, are you, you know, is it all good? It's that pressure that, you know, I offer you the, you know, opportunity to look at, like, whose life are you living, you know? You are fully responsible for your life. Nobody makes you do anything, you know, nobody makes you feel anything. Sorry to tell you. Now that you've heard it, you know, you can choose to pretend like you didn't hear it, but I believe that you already know that that's the case. It's just, you know, we've all agreed to pretend to believe that, you know, you made me mad, you know. Well, being someone who, you know, doesn't get mad, you know, at much of anything, you know, yes, I get frustrated when I encounter resistance, but I choose to not, I don't actively choose stress and pain. You know, I know the scenarios, like when I make a phone call or answer a phone call, depending on who it is, you know, that is always the potential, you know, when we involve other people, when we're not ascetics, you know, living in a cave, which I did, actually, although I wasn't alone in my cave. I had friends with me and some Hawaiian ancestors. On my first night, when I was given permission, I got a visit from the Menehune. It was really amazing, a little frightening, because I didn't, you know, I wasn't seated in my self, my full self. You know, I was awake, and a process of stripping away all of the doubt is a process, you know. But as I said, I've always been me, and it's funny because, and that's the thing with, it's like if you are describing the Tao, it's not the Tao. If you are talking about your experience, your direct mystical, it's called, whatever, mostly from the sort of science camp that is more traditional, and just starting to be more expansive and inclusive and, understand itself, having a direct experience with God, with Source, with nature, with when you are directly experiencing talking about it, is you can never, perfectly encapsulate, reflect, what that is. It's like for any psychonauts out there, when you take your herbal and or, other adventures and go on those journeys, once you, land, once you land your spaceship, it's, back to reality. That's what that Eminem line was kind of became a mantra for me for I guess really that, the difference of being there and, my internal sa sa spa za za zen, heaven, whatever, my little island, and then whoop, somebody once said hell is other people, which, is true and not true. Yeah, beyond duality is fun because then it's challenging and daunting and intimidating, and I like to shout out to Dark Night of the Soul. I like having that little tag that I can short and sweet point to that experience, going beyond your limitations, and all of the ego tripping, the mind games, the trying to control or play with control of, what you're experiencing. When you go big, is, woof, it's a lot, for me. I'm like, it was a lot for me, and I started my sort of, formal spiritual training when I was 12, and I'm going to be 55 in June, so I have the advantage of that. So I just want to be a source of comfort, a lighthouse to those of you who can't connect to your own lighthouse, which is source, which is all of that. Ooh, it's all good. There is no not good, not God, odd when you G-O-D. Oh, we're going to add another O to make it good. Well, the odd is the, I'm not so sure about all this. That's the underside of duality, the looking at the underworld as boogly woogly, the devil tarot card, the tower, there's nothing in this world, in this universe, that wants to hurt you. Ultimately, that can hurt you, on the macro and the micro and the cosmic and the, physical plane of existence, the 3D versus the 5D, where, I joke that I'm in 22D. It is a constant unfolding. They say the universe is expanding, it's accelerating. Well, yay, of course, that makes sense. The more we are fueling and joining in and participating and co-creating that expansion, that growth, which happens, without us. If, we're along for the ride, regardless, if we're here. So, yeah, just remember there is nothing that, wants to hurt you, nor can it hurt you. It can't make you mad. You choose that emotion. You're choosing suffering. If you're going to suffer, which we all have challenges, no matter what, woo-woo level we get to, because there is no, the goal, there is no end to the journey. There's no like, ta-da, you made it. You're enlightened. Okay, well, now what? The universe keeps expanding, and, people keep twittering and, farting and standing in the same line and, all getting in our cars at the same time that you want to get somewhere, So how are you gonna deal with that, Well, you can, like me, I would prepare for things just to make it, more comfortable. If I get stuck in an elevator, I have this pocket book in my pocket, so, that is me, like, passing through my fears, my, my baggage of, past life, which is no such thing, It is all the now, But, you know, I like to have my comforts, my medicine, my whatever. But I also like to prepare, which is why, you know, I've done to whatever degree tried, you know, I smoked crack once, you know, things that people get like, woo, they found it, you know. You get run over by a car or truck, or, you know, break your whatever, you get opiates. And, you know, as we all know, there are people that have less ability to self-regulate, and you know, like, they create a lot of suffering in that. But it's like, if you go in knowing that you're gonna, you know, that's a potential, you can approach that from a, you know, cautious perspective, a mindset of like, okay, I'm not going to make certain choices. I'm not going to do this more than whatever. But it is not easy, you know. I had a lot of, as I said, training, and, you know, in the however long my soul has been doing this, you know, as an old soul, but then it's like, oh, haha, you know, infinity gets very stretchy, and your place in it, and the labels you attach to yourself or other people attach to you, you know. So that's the thing, is that, you know, I'm not special. I've had my experience that isn't your experience, but I, you know, I'm copacetic, I'm cooperative with my reality, and, you know, my creation and 𝑗creators or whatnot. But anyway, I was doing that, and see, time, 28 minutes just went by, whoop, you know, 28 nows, chunks of now are still the now. But I was gonna stop working. It was 11 o'clock exactly, and you know, take some time for myself. But fuck it, I'm here. I want to be here with you guys. So I started this out, but let's do this together and see what happens. 'Cause Shay, you know, I want anybody who finds this, who, you know, likes what I'm saying on whatever level, you know, using your discernment, you discern that, you know, oh, I like where this is going, this relationship, this person, this, you know, reflection of me reflecting back at me. But yeah, I want to, you know, share with you how I got here, so that you can, you know, look through your own lens, and see, you know, similarities and even differences that our similarities. Ooh, see, I'm like, I don't burp. And everyone's like, confirmation burp. But I'm more of the, like, I feel energy, woo, like, okay, it's more clear when it's like, okay, it's time to wrap it up. But I do have these, like, air experiences that I'm now, it's when my dad pointed out to me as a teenager that I said like a lot, like, you know, like it was the 80s, and like, that just made me think of Donald Trump, because he talks like a valley girl, but I became aware of it, so now I am becoming aware, like I said, similar but different, because when I first, confirmation burp, I was like, oh, that's funny, like I know about confirmation from, you know, spirit or source or your body, you know, your energetic awareness, but I was like, I don't burp though, so, which was a big thing, a big, like, story in my life for many years, and had many people trying to teach me how to burp, and, you know, and then I, you know, when the internet kind of came out, where I didn't have to, you know, try to find a medical journal about burping physiology, you know, I looked it up, and it's a sign of, you know, too much gas that needs to, you know, expel itself from your container, and I was like, oh, well, it's a good thing that, you know, I don't have too much gas in my whatever, you know. I'm like, I do fart, everybody poops, you know, fancy 70-some-year-old actress from the UK, I can't think of her name, but, you know, when I had a kid, it was, cause it's so, why are farts so embarrassing? It's just like, oh, geez, you know. It's like when the Everybody Poops book came out, which I don't think I ever read. You know, I was like, oh, thank God somebody said it, you know. There's so much talking around, joking around, you know, the subject. But anyway, yeah, this actress. Oh, I started to say I called it tooting when with Rye. Oh, toot, you know, or maybe even before that, like, oh, I tooted. Just whatever, making it more palatable to myself, in trying to, you know, be an adult. You know, it's still, I prefer to not be an adult, and, you know, the medical jargon, you know, is whatever. It was, for a while, it was the easiest, you know, like the vagina monologues, you know, for me, having one my whole life, and contemplating it, you know, personally and or socially, talking about, again, it's the, like, labeling the conversation, the whatever, you know, there are a lot of names, but for me, like, you know, it was easier to talk about, you know, the ones I didn't have. You know, for me, it was I just like Dick, you know. That was, other than that being a female relative's name, that's the one that works for me. Like, you know, the other words so that's the first word for me that I was like, yeah, was cunt. You know, I like it. I like it got me shoved against a wall by my physically, what is that, corporal punishing parent, when I called my mom a cunt. Whew, that was a big move. Heavy moves. Yeah, and I knew that it was gonna get the reaction, I didn't know exactly what reaction, but I knew it was gonna be, you know, scary or whatever. I was expanding, you know, my boundaries, my whatever. Yeah, she didn't like that, and she like put her hands like sort of around my throat too, very gently, and push me back against the wall to, like, you know, look in my eyes and say, that's a no-no in Mama's house. And just to make sure that I knew that, which I did. And then the other word is snatch. I'm like, I like that name. It's not too common. But, you know, part of me likes that as well. So it's part of my isness. But, yeah, it's just funny. So I don't confirmation burp. I don't confirmation anything of record. But I'm looking at whatever that, like, air thing, you know, that to me physiologically is more hiccup-like, because I do have hiccups, and that is the one thing that I think I noted maybe even before I became aware of confirmation burps in my own channeling, you know, and probably in the recording of that for you guys. You know, I bet on some old videos I get the hiccups, but maybe not. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. But let's, this is Shay and her animal family, including Twitter, who the thumbnail for this looked like Twitter put a paw. I don't think chickens and roosters have paws. I think they have feet. Well, they're called chicken feet, to the people that eat them. Sorry, Shay, if you just heard that. I didn't, you know, or anyone. I'm just, you know, yeah. I was wondering earlier if I should put on the do not disturb somebody, and that's why it's like, oh man, when you put your number out there, and I already have someone else's, an old woman named Irma, used to have this phone number, but, you know, most of the people that, I don't get a lot of calls, you know. It's either the people that I sort of expect to be calling. I lost my work number, my public number for you guys, which I was like, yay, I finally got that figured out and permanent. And for whatever reason, I suspect it was that I didn't use it enough for outgoing calls. But my Google Voice number, all of a sudden, they're like, no, it doesn't work anymore. It's not yours. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? You know, that's not supposed to happen. But I look at it as, you know, I'm not in a space to be getting a bunch of calls, you know, to do client work. So, yeah, the need for it is more me-centered. You know, there are plenty of ways available that I put out there to get in touch with me, including this. If this is a YouTube video, the closest, it's boop right there, you know, comment, and I'm like, comments, questions, whatever, do so, because I do want to be available. I don't want anybody to be, you know, desperately feeling the need or want to reach out and have there, you know, be no way to do so. But you know, SnarkySifu is attached to, you know, everything, all the mails and the whatevers, and you know, I'm trying to keep the fucking spam, man, the spam mail and the scam calls. The scam calls I don't really have to deal with, other than saying no thank you. And if it's not a scam, then, well, guess what? They call back and they leave a message. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to, for your sake, you know, go back to 2 minutes. And, oh, I always do that. And I think I just made a playlist. Yeah. See, I don't know why the bookmark doesn't show up. Technology, what are you going to do?
To do something, that's when you...
All right.
Hey guys, good morning. I hope everyone's doing okay. Today is day 13. Yes, God, it's day 13 of me not smoking.
Oh, it broke my heart a little, what she's about to say, that I think I heard, because I was, you know, half tuning in, and you know, I probably thinking about you guys joining in. And I think she is about to say that, you know, she's never proud of herself about anything, but she's very proud about quitting smoking, which she should be. You know, if that is not medicine for you, or not, you know, what I call good medicine, proper medicine, then, whew, you know, not using it is awesome. But yeah, it's difficult. I tested whether or not tobacco was proper medicine for me, which, you know, I found myself having difficulty grounding myself, which, you know, I knew already that that's what it was doing. And, you know, at least in the circumstances that I did it, and I did it a few times, you know, because I had to see if I could, and then, you know, decide whether or not I wanted it in my medicine bag. But yeah, it hurt my heart hearing her say that about not being proud. And I just sent her a big old hug, and I guess I'm doing another one now. If you are hearing this, Shay, you have so much that you're just amazing, and you're such a shiny, bright light, and I certainly enjoy our time together, so I'm passing that along here. All right.
This is insane. That means tomorrow it's going to be 2 freaking weeks, and I'm so proud of myself. I really am. And I've never really ever been proud of myself for anything. And this is actually something that I really am proud of myself, because I know how hard this was for myself, and I stuck with it. I didn't cheat. I didn't do, not one time. I did it.
Yay.
And also too, it's like, if you cheat or whatever, if you it's like you're only hurting yourself. You know what I mean? And I've learned that as well. It's like you're only messing yourself up. You're only lying to yourself. But there was many times, and there still is many times, where I would like to, like right now, I still would like to smoke. Definitely. Anyways, we're going to get into this message. Let's see what Twitter has to say. This is a message from Spirit via Twitter.
Not that Twitter.
Wow, that was quick. Wow, the star. Beautiful. The star. This is...
Oh, there that's what that means. Hope, which, that's funny, the S for star. But the star card, that one said hope. So, okay, back to our reading.
Absolutely beautiful. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Wands. All right. I'm talking to someone who was built in the dark. Wow. I'm talking to someone that maybe it's hard for you to see your own light, is what I'm feeling right now. But you are a star.
Universal reading.
You are someone who, you bring hope to people. You are the one that people look to for guidance, for hope, for faith. Wow. And I also feel that you are the one to ignite things in people. You ignite passion inside of people, you guys. It's like you light people up. I'm talking to someone who's extremely special. For this to be the very first card that comes out, I'm talking to a star. Like, I'm talking to someone who glows in the dark, who thrives actually in the dark. Like, I feel like you're someone, like when you're pushed into a corner or you are forced to do something, that's when you do your most beautiful work. That is when you ignite. You ignite the most when you are pushed into a corner or when you are forced. I feel like when you are in complete darkness, like when it's the darkest of darkest, you shine the brightest.
Opportunity.
Wow.
Choice.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to clarify with another deck. So I feel like, yeah, you bring hope to everybody. And I feel like you ignite this inside of everyone, not just yourself. I feel like you ignite this inside of everyone. It's okay, Twitter. It's okay. Hi, guys.
Hello, footy foot.
Hi, Shiva. Hi, Lyra. Watch out, babe. Nope, I gotta put my knees down, sweetie. Okay, so let's clarify this real quick. Whew. I'm gonna use a different tarot deck and see what comes out. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us about this beautiful soul? Okay, we got the Page of Wands coming out. So I'm talking to a star who is going on some kind of a new path. There's some kind of a new path that's opening up here. And this path, we have the Page of Cups.
I wasn't reading that. Daughter of, I was like, Star States? Staffs. Wands. Okay. Oh, so this is a classic tarot. That's what I was wondering. I was like, number 1 card is the Magician. But staffs, wands, fire, fairies, earth magic, you know. Yeah. Because I'm a little bit of a student of tarot and other things, you know. Like I said, oh, maybe I didn't. I used them all, but I've been, you know, that is not my job. Let's just say that, you know. It's just in my tool belt. So, I am guided towards people that I trust. You know, I only discover people as medicine, you know, proper medicine. And I wouldn't, while I have no control over, you know, or, you know, I don't know what you're going to get from Shay, but I know that her intention is aligned, and she's a very clear channel as well, which is like, it's wild, but I get it, in that, you know, like accepting who you are, sitting and being rooted and claiming and owning your power, and all that means, you know. It's a process, you know, and she's not there yet, but oof, she's on the way, and yeah, I just love this girl, and so that's why I'm including her in and her animal helpers in this, you know, video, in starting, you know, my channel and whatnot, all that good shit. All right. Anyway, I do need glasses, you know.
Who is going on some kind of a new path. There's some kind of a new path that's opening up here. And this path, we have the Page of Cups on the bottom. This is a path where you are more in touch with your inner child, where you are more in touch with like the dreaming side of you, and believing that things can happen, like believing in yourself, believing in your dreams, your hopes. I see. Hope is being restored. That is what's happening. I feel like I'm talking to someone who is meant to be seen by many people. You have something very special inside of you. You have something that ignites things.
I've been hearing that for a long ass time. You know, Quinn, as a teenager, told me I have a fear of success, and I had to work that Zen koan out an enigmatic puzzle to solve. Yeah, preparation. Anyway, I'm here. I'm doing it. Yeah. Anyway.
Others, but first you had to ignite something in yourself. And that's what's been happening here. I feel like I'm talking to someone who has gotten off their path for a little while. And what I mean by that, and I don't think you've ever been off your path. I don't think we ever could, all of us. We never really could be off of our path. It's all meant to be. But what I'm saying is that you didn't see your own light for a long time, if ever. Like, there's a light inside of...
I had to dim it down and down and down and down. And I was, doing it on purpose, and then, it became uncomfortably, I was comfortable-ish, out of, sort of prescribed necessity, relationship, family structure, whatever. But yeah, I was like, ooh, I had, for the first time, I was worried that, like, oh shit, my spark is really, it needs some resuscitation. I wasn't sure for the first time that, I would be able to get back to myself. But I did. And I didn't, and that's the thing, is like, I never, I was down, but I was never out, so to speak,
You guys, that everyone sees. It's undeniable, but for you to see it, that's been the hard part. Lyra, move your tail, babe. Thank you. That's been the hard part for whoever I'm talking to. And yeah, boom, behind this, there's your justice. That's why this is justice. That is why. And it's because, oh, wow. Okay. So I'm talking to someone who has been made to feel like a star in reverse is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
It's almost like you were made to feel like you weren't a star, like you weren't. I feel like you could have had people around you that they were not helping to ignite you. They were almost like trying to put your fire out.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay? So I feel like I'm talking to someone who you've had to do this yourself. You've had to find this thing to ignite in yourself, and also as well as God, right? Of course, God is always the one to do it for us. Okay, don't get off track, Shay. Okay, so this is your justice. I'm talking to someone who your passion has almost been watered down, okay, throughout the years. Now, this could be because of the things you've been through. And I feel like now that's why we have the Page of Wands. Something is being ignited inside of you. See this incense? It's like something's being lit inside of you again. Something's being turned on, okay? And you have a beautiful balance because you have the Page of Cups on the bottom, right? This is a beautiful balance. It's like you're being turned on. Your passion is being turned on again. I'm talking to a very special person. This is definitely, I'm feeling a starseed. This is someone who is not from here. You have something very special inside of you to share with everybody. But I'm saying that it's been hard for you to see your own light. That's really what it is. It's like you are meant to be seen by many, but you needed to be seen by yourself first.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is your justice. I just want to show you real quick. This is your justice, is to be seen by yourself. And now that you see yourself, I'm talking to someone who does see their star qualities. You do, okay? You're starting to pour into yourself. I'm talking to someone who's taking care of themselves now. I feel like... I feel like, and this, because you're taking care of yourself, you're having patience, Patience with yourself while something grows inside of you. You know something's growing, and it is your passion. It's this star quality inside of you that it's like it's dying to come out. It's dying to be seen. And the reason is because...
Okay, so kind of to put a little me in the reading here, it was, what was I about to say? There's confirmation hiccup thing. Oh yeah, putting myself on the, the bottom of my to-do list, which I had a whole thing about totem poles and like the bottom, being on the totem pole, and the person, the being, the animal, the avatar at the top is like, oh, that's the one. I love looking at them and seeing everybody on that ladder. The person at the top is the one that, like, people see, and unless it is part of your culture and whatnot, you probably don't give much thought to totem poles, and but perhaps you do look at positioning and recognition and Cinderella, Snow White. These are, I was happy to be Cinderella, and it was something about, your light needs to be seen, she said, or something like that. My purpose is to, be a reflection, to help others see their own light, their own worth, their potential, their, divine I amness is and I had a tough nut to crack, dealing with a turtle. The turtle independently, like, incredible what I saw from the beginning. I see the soul reflected in everyone, when I meet you. But then that sort of life patterning relation, like, I can only come to the table, come to the group from my position. And then, if it's 3 people and 2 of the people decide that, I'm bad, I'm worthless, I'm whatever, inside I know, well, that's crazy. And my behavior shows everything to the contrary, maybe not. And this is the thing with, this one person was really on a mission to, not see me, to not acknowledge me, to, make sure I felt like I wasn't anything special. And, that was that person projecting, reflecting, mirroring, using me as a mirror. to self when I was like, like, hey, I get it, the way that you came up and your family, dynamics and whatnot, and yeah, I had just never encountered a mom who would want a daughter of cups, a daughter of staffs, a little star, yada yada yada, to feel like shit, to feel like well, you're not better than me. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to be, even though there is no try, there is only do and do not. Yeah, it was just weird, and it took a toll on me. That's what it was. It was like, whoa, okay, this is new, and ongoing, and and finally I had to just remove myself. I did it energetically first, and I stopped. This is when pearls before swine kept popping in my head. It was like, stop giving this person your whatever, your gifts, your I just stopped helping. I took this class, and I already knew everything that was taught in the class. I was just taking refreshers and whatever. I like to see other perspectives, but the thing that I got from it that made it so valuable was never work harder for your clients than they work for themselves. And that became the new version of pearls before swine, because spirit talks to me, the PTB. They give me these little like, if you build it, my little like, okay, mantra sort of like theme of what I'm experiencing. But yeah, anyway, so that's what that's all about. It was really tough for me, and I've been through some fucking shit, man. I got run over by a truck, and my body was just like, hello, goodbye. Is this goodbye? Do you want it to be goodbye? Yay, you still got some work to do, kid. All right, put me in, coach. Just adapting to new challenges, new circumstances, an entirely new body. Yeah, and I am still like, none of that like knocked me down, and it was takes a licking and keeps on ticking. That was my like, oh, haha, yeah, that's how my Timex watch. But yeah, this was it was a lot. It was a lot, yeah. It was whew. It was a close one, guys. But yeah, my dad had the Phoenix shop, and that is definitely part of my totem pole.
This is your destiny, okay? This is your destiny, is to shine. But your light has been Your light has been tampered with throughout the years is what I'm getting, okay? It's like your light has been messed with. And it was because so you could find the light in yourself. In other words, you don't need anyone else's fucking validation is what I'm trying to say, okay? You don't need their validation. You don't need someone's, oh, you're good enough. You know, or like someone to say, oh yeah, you could do that, probably, yeah, I bet you could do that. No, you don't need it because you have it in yourself. You don't need that. You are your own light. You are your own validation. Oh, you're your own. Oh, what is that word? Like when you rely on only yourself. Self-sustaining, I think, is what I'm trying to look for. It's like you are self-sustainable. You don't need anyone's validation or outside energies. You don't need it. And this was the point. This is why this is your justice now. It's almost like God is handing you yourself in this picture. There's your higher self. You are connected.
Oh.
Hi, Lyra. Silly boy. Lyra could be significant for someone. Okay, you could be a starseed from Lyra. I just want to say that, or a Lyran starseed, however you say that. That is for someone. Because
so you may not have realized because I didn't point it out ahead of time. But I just got up and went pee, and that's when I was like, the tribe has spoken, talking about, you know, my experience, my relationship. That I am coming out of, and it was like, that's what, it just made me laugh, like, oh, yep, sorry, the tribe has spoken, poof, you know, snuftering me, attempting to, and I thought, like, you know, and I'm not going to do too much of like, oh, you know, this sounds like from an ego position or whatever, because I didn't get hung up on that one. Somebody tried to, you know, trip me up for a minute, but it was just like, yeah, no. If you think, you know, I'm coming from a place of ego in acknowledging my own, you know, worth, that's a you problem. But, you know, I wanted to say that if it could happen to me, you know, like anyone who's struggling, and you're like, I know all this stuff. Like, I know I'm in control and and other people, it's up to me how I let them, and I know about boundaries, and yeah, I'm allowing myself to, you know, dim my light and whatever, you know, you having things like, whoops, sneak in, even when you're, you know, have your eye on the ball and the prize and this and that, and you know, tests, challenges, you know, it's like what I said earlier, it's, you can wake up, you can be enlightened, you know, but then what, you know, unless you are not in a body, you know, if you're working from a different plane, then what the fuck, how in the hell are you going to comment on my YouTube channel? You know, we're all here doing this thing, and, you know, creating a new earth, or whatever you want to call it, you know, to me it's like, that shit doesn't matter, you know. God doesn't care if you use Allah, you know. I do little word plays about like Allah all of the names, you know, for God, Goddess, yada yada, Pachamama, you know, Source, Universe. It doesn't matter. That is just your framework that you're comfortable with. And, you know, it is what it is. I am that which I am. And I'm a mirror, or a little spark, or a hope, or a SnarkySifu giving spirited advice for 2 cents, more sense, nonsense. You know, you let me know.
It was too funny how Lyra just came by right in there, and right when I'm showing the star card. So far, you guys, I'm not going to make this an incredibly long message, but we do have someone who is meant to be seen, but first you had to see yourself, and that's what happened here. Is I feel like someone or people around you, I feel like during your lifetime, okay, has been trying to water you down.
I'm sending, so this is just a little like, whoop, glimpse into me. My, you know, monkey minding you. I'm sending, you know, healing energy to that little pawpaw, because hopefully it's not impacting her, the joy of her dirt bath, and her, you know, picking, because that's what they like to do. So I'm sending some little chicken leg healing energy.
Trying to put this light out inside of you. Every time I feel like you would go to shine your light, someone would just dampen it. Someone would come and either say something, do something to you that would make you doubt yourself again. So you were not easily influenced, okay? But I'm just saying you were influenced just like all of us are. We are all being programmed at all times, okay? But for you, when you were growing up, is what I'm saying, you could have always had this star quality inside of you, and people around you just wanted to put it out. They wanted to put this star quality out, and it's because you triggered people. You made them feel a certain way. You know, it made them think about, you know, what maybe they're not doing in their lives, or how maybe we're...
Fortunately, that has not been, you know, my experience. That has been... the few and far between, although the most recent, but, you know, so I definitely set it up that way, like, all right, I'm already gonna be, you know, questioning, what the fuck, are you serious? This is what's going on here. Let me set up a life experience of people acknowledging that in some way. You know, the joy of my company. The, you know, the frustrating but still satisfying DJing that, you know, I did in the cars, you know, but that, again, you know, getting a mixtape from me was a special thing, so, you know, that's all I'm saying. Thanks, guys, for, you know, reflecting your light, my light, our light, you know, and making it big and obvious and awesome and fun and silly and wonderful and something that, you know, we all want to continue passing it on, you know, paying it forward, so to speak.
they fall short. So people, okay, comparison. People were comparing themselves to you for a long time, and it made you feel like you needed their fucking validation. You know, like you needed their okay to go do something. Now I'm talking to someone, you don't need that. You don't need that. You are the star. So if you needed some kind of confirmation, this is your confirmation that you are a star. You are meant to be seen. You have this star quality. For this card to be coming out right off the bat like that, and it was 11:11 when I just looked down. There's a reason. Because you're in alignment with your higher self. And it's time for you to see your own light, and not just see your own light, but own it. Fucking own it, you guys. That is the point here. That is the point. Is to not just acknowledge it, to claim it. Claim this light, you guys. Not everyone has this. I just want to tell you, not everyone has this light.
Seated
Claim
in your power.
it. Claim it as your
In
own.
your light.
Okay? All right, let's just get a 𝒃ⁱ
That's that rooting.
Oh, I'm feeling it,
talking
man.
about.
This message is intense. And I feel like it's God trying to get this message to you to let you know, like, it's time for you to claim this fucking light that you have, that you always have had, that people have been trying to water down your whole life. It's time
Okay.
for you to claim it. Okay?
My girl.
Own it. Own it.
I do. I am.
Okay, something about the... Wow. Someone has been trying to manipulate... What did I say? Someone, hey, there you have people around you, you guys, that have been trying to manipulate you so to affect your future. It's like they didn't want you to have this future that you're about to have. Someone's been trying to make it to where you don't have this future that you're about to have. We have rituals in the reverse, bottom of the deck. This isn't working. These people have been doing rituals on you, okay? There's someone that's been, has bad intentions. They don't want to see you shine, but they have seen your star quality from the fucking get-go, you guys. They know. This is why they've been doing this. They've been ordered, is what I'm hearing. That's interesting. I was going to say influenced, but okay. They've been ordered by a lower spirit to do this. And you are about to see the truth. Okay. And I feel like because you are seeing the truth and you know the truth, it's like someone's been blocked from your energy because of this. And it's because you're seeing the truth. So what I'm getting here is that you are blocking someone out of your energy on purpose. This isn't, I'm feeling this is you doing this, you guys. Okay. So I'm going to get another one here. Okay, so we do have manipulation in the distant future. So like I said, there were people that were trying to manipulate you, and I feel like these people just wanted to put your fire out, okay? They kept wanting to put your fire out. Yes, it's true, okay? They didn't want to see you shine. And it's because when you would shine, it would shine a light on all the things that maybe they should be doing, or that all the passions in themselves that they aren't meeting, that they aren't, how do you say?
Self-actualizing.
That they are not tending to, okay? That they're not respecting is what I want to say, because we all have passions inside of us that if we don't respect them and we don't live up to them, you know, it bothers us and it turns into other things. So I feel like when you would shine, it would shine a light on all these things where they fell short. And that's why they were like, oh, hell no, I don't want this person to shine anymore, because they're shining a light on all of my insecurities, all of the things that I need to change within myself. And I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at myself. These people didn't want to look at themselves, so they made you not see yourself in some way, okay? So because they didn't want to see themselves, they didn't want you to see yourself either. Wow. Okay, so they were trying to manipulate you, which is over. Which is over, like I just said, and it could have been your family. It could have been. Bottom of the deck, look at this. I can't even make this fucking up. This is insane. You've taken your power back. Check it out. You've taken your power back from a lower spirit. And like I said, this lower spirit, they could have been manipulating your family to make it like,
Like they
almost
were
like
my
so you needed
family?
validation from your family. You needed an okay. You needed something from them, okay? And your family was manipulating you. Now, this does not have to be your family, okay? This could be anybody. This could be someone that you considered family. Okay, but I do want to say that this is the truth right here. You have taken your power back from some kind of lower spirit. That's for damn sure. Okay, so someone here, I feel like your family has been making you feel like you need their okay, their validation for something, like you need their respect, you need their love, blah, blah, blah. And someone here, you are realizing that you are all the love, respect, and validation that you fucking need. You get it from yourself. You are self-sustainable and God-sustainable. That's what I'm getting. God is sustaining you now. You and God.
Thanks, homie.
This is so powerful. So powerful, and I'm so proud of you. So freaking proud of you. Look at this. Wow, let's get into this, but look at this. We got bondage in reverse, mature man and divine feminine. Whew. This could have been a masculine and feminine energy that were trying to keep you in bondage that is no longer able to. They cannot keep you in bondage because you see yourself clearly. For others of you, I feel like you are taking mature action here, okay? This is why we have bondage in reverse, okay? And this is because you are taking mature action in this physical realm, and you are able to receive, and you know about magnetism. You know, you understand. And I feel like your masculine and feminine energies are very balanced. Okay, and I think this is something that you've learned. You've learned how to take action, when to take action, and to take divine action. Okay, and then you've also learned that you are worthy, and you are now able to receive from people. I think someone here, you've had a hard time receiving in the past, but you are able to receive, and you're able to magnetize things towards you. You know how to become something, like you know how to shapeshift. I feel like this is really cool. There are people that have, okay, Spirit is saying, bottom of the deck. It's okay, Mama. It's okay. Riri's coming back, okay? He's just doing his rounds. He's looking around, making sure there's no other roosters. That's all. He'll be right back. So, Spirit is saying, expect people to have animosity, you guys. Because there are people, okay, they don't like this level up. They don't like that you see yourself now. So people are going to act weird, okay? Definitely. People are going to act weird because they're like, what? Like, we tried so hard to keep them in bondage, okay? And they're not anymore. So these things that used to trigger them, okay, that they tried to put out your fire, right? So they would not be triggered. They're going to start being triggered again because your fire is lit. The passion is ignited. It's over. Game over for them. Okay, so let them be triggered is what I'm going to say. All right? Let them be triggered and love them enough to trigger them. If you really love somebody, if you really want them to help them, you will shine as bright as possible. Okay? And this will show them the way out. It will.
That's what I did in the beginning.
Regardless, it's something that you came here to do. You came here to shine. You are a star. You are supposed to be seen by many people, you guys. You know what I just heard? Every star has a story of the darkness. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean to you, but that just totally hit home for me. Every star has a story about darkness. What is your story of darkness? Okay. Bottom of the deck, emotional pain. What is your story of darkness? Share that with the world. You have put things back into balance, like I said. Your masculine and feminine energies are balanced, you guys. This is why we got this. I do feel that. This is why we got this earlier. There's something about your masculine and feminine energies. You have put things back into balance. Wow. And this is after a lot of heartbreak. So it was the heartbreak. The heartbreak was the catalyst. It was. Okay, 222 on the clock.
Thank you for breaking my heart.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So you are getting abundance here, okay? And Spirit is saying this is something you can trust. There's something about here, like an official person maybe calling you up or something like this. This is interesting. Okay, bottom of the deck, we have a karmic masculine here, you guys. So there is a karmic masculine that is trying to get in the middle of some kind of harvest that you're supposed to have. Okay, you're supposed to have this harvest, but you do have a karmic around you that is trying to intervene. So let's get more on that. What else, Spirit, can you tell us about this karmic and what can we do? Ooh. We have intuition coming out in the reverse. So Spirit is saying that this karmic is trying to intervene between you and your intuition. This is someone that you don't know about. Whoa. Okay. Okay, let's get another one on this. This is someone you don't know about. This is not someone you know. What? This is someone that you don't think it's them. And they know you. They know that you're a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay? They know that you're a sweetheart. And they know that you're on the rise. They know that you're on the rise. Someone is seeing you rise, okay? Like I said, you are the star. Look at that. I mean, rising star here. Look at this. You are the star. 777 is relevant here. You are meant to shine. You are meant to be out in the public somehow. But I just want to say this person, whoever is this karmic that's trying to intervene between you and this abundance, knows you're a sweetheart. Okay? They know you're a good person. But you're not suspecting this person. Intuition in reverse. This is someone that you are not suspecting, but they know that you are someone who's on the rise.
That already happened.
So this is really interesting. Let's just get one more on this, Spirit, please. Oh, here we go. Your ancestors are taking care of this, you guys. Your ancestors are on this situation. No doubt. And your ancestors are coming through saying hello. And they're about to say hello to this person. That's what it is. They're about, oh my God, this is so funny. Oh, I love it. I love you, Spirit. Your ancestors are about to say hello to this person, to this karmic, whoever's trying to get it in the middle between you and this abundance, okay? Because your ancestors are going to make sure that you receive this. They're not fucking around, okay? For your ancestors to come out in this specific message like this, they're making themselves known, and they want to make sure that you know that they're taking care of this, okay? So please trust that. I'm going to get one more. But they're about to say hello. I can't even believe this. Okay, let's just get one more, please, Spirit. Very interesting. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there is an ending happening, but this is who, remember I said, okay, your ancestors are about to say hello to someone. This is who it is. It's someone who's going to act like a nice guy, but they're going to try to get in the middle between something. You and this abundance, you and this rising that you're having right now. It's like they're going to try to get in your mind somehow. This is a narcissist or a narcissistic behavior. Some kind of narcissistic behavior. I can't even say it. Some kind of mental game, okay, that they're going to try to play with you, that your ancestors are going to beat them at. Okay, your ancestors are going to beat them at their own game. This is an ending. Road closed. Your ancestors are saying, road fucking closed. Okay? You are so protected, you guys. And so is your gifts, okay? And look at this. I can't even, the next three cards, you guys, is so good. Your gifts are going to make you very successful, okay? Someone here, you have intuitive gifts, all right? Crazy intuitive gifts. And these gifts are going to make you successful because this is your purpose. This is your North Node. Your North Node has everything to do with your purpose, right? And your purpose has something to do with using these gifts, all right? And all of this will make you very successful. You are a star, period. And this is how we're ending it. Look at your aura. Like, my goodness, you guys.
Boom.
Claim this power. Claim this energy. You are a star. Please put it in the comments, you guys, and claim this. I'm not even kidding. Like, I've never asked you guys to do this, but I'm asking today. for whoever this message is for, and you don't have to, don't worry. You can just say it in your mind. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do that, you don't have to at all. You can totally just claim it in your mind and say it in your mind, or say it out loud and say, I am a star, period. Okay? Because someone's been trying to water down your star qualities, your star behaviors, and that's bullshit. Okay? So this is it. You're shining more than ever now, and you are meant to be seen by a lot of people, you guys. And like I said, there were people in your life that were trying to water or put out your fire, is what I'm getting. But it's been ignited again. And you were meant to go through all of the shit that you just went through. And you have a story of the darkness, is what I'm hearing, okay? There's a story of darkness. Every star has a story of the darkness. And your story, or your gifts that you have that have been ignited because of the darkness, is going to make you incredibly successful. This is the message. Okay? I'm going to help Twitter right now with her dust bath. I love you guys so much. There she goes. You are a star. I want you to claim this power, because that was the problem before, is that people were manipulating you and trying to manipulate your future and trying to put things in place for you, and they were making it so where you needed their validation, you needed their okay. And so for some of you, this is your family. So you have really done a lot of work here, and you are not looking for any outside validation. It's like you are your own validation now, okay? And you are self-sustainable. You are a self-sustainable star. Claim it in the comments. Claim it. Say it. Say it out loud. But tell yourself, I am a star and I will shine regardless. I came here to do that. And I will not fail on my mission. Wow. All right. I love you guys so much. I love you, love you, love you. And I will see you in the next one. This got me all fired up. Please remember, you are so gifted, and to trust your gifts. And not just that, you are a gift to this world. Okay? You are a star. You are a star. I want to hear it in the comments, please. I love you so much, okay? I'll see you in the next one. Hold on, Twitter. I'll make you a dust bath right now. Love you guys.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive with myself, Erin Chandler. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm just going to roll with spirit here and the message that are coming through. There's almost so many messages that I feel like we need to divide them into paths, despite the fact that I need to trust the weaving of them. So a couple things that have been coming through really intensely. The first one is there's somebody on here where you don't just have heaven backing you up, you have hell backing you up. And what that means is whoever this message is for, I feel like you know the shadows like nobody's business. You are not afraid of them. You have walked them and you know the damn way out. You know the damn way out of the shadows. You also walk in the realms of the angelical realms, in the heavens, in the ethers, through multiple realms. You are welcome in multiple realms, is what I am hearing, through multiple dimensions. Whoever this message is for, you've got heaven standing at your back and you've got hell standing at your back, who will both go to the plate with you, regardless of who shows up or what shows up. So this is a very intense message. And I feel like this is somebody who has transcended dark versus light, or the duality of all those things. Mastery is the words coming through. I'm being told to pick a Dreamweaver card for this. So it really feels like, judge not lest ye be judged. Let your dreams be woven true is the card that I am picking up on. And here's what's fascinating. I have to show you this card because the imagery is absolutely stunning. I want you to notice that there is two halves, two faces, as above, so below, and the eye in the middle and streaming out either side. Let your dreams be woven true.
All right. I wasn't paying attention. I was drawn to this message there's my confirmation error. Which might be like, and these are the questions I ask myself. Is this a pause point? This video that was, supposed to be you not working, which I picked a few videos to add to the queue based on pull resonance, and what drew me to this is whatever she just said. You are supported by heaven and hell, and I was like, yeah, because that's where I'm at in my journey, is that like I was talking about the devil card in the tarot, which I just got a new book, and it is, because I don't have my books right now, they are being stored, but with somebody who is taking a time out. So that's a little tricky for me, but I'm balancing, honoring the respect for that, the person's needs, wants, whatever, knowing that historically I've been able to just let that roll up until it needs to not roll, because I can't roll with it, basically. But I got this book. I discovered this sale table at Barnes & Noble, which right now I am having a low flow, a po month, just January, and having my kiddo just had 13th birthday, December 29th, and Christmas, and I didn't, presents-wise, Hanukkah was just like, whoop, not today, Satan, not this year. Basically, it was like, yeah, no, I don't have the resources to, buy 9 nights worth of presents. Especially because I bought a guitar as an early gift, and then I didn't have to. I then replaced that when, it turned out that apparently I was buying that guitar for myself, thinking I was buying it as an early Christmas birthday gift for my kiddo, but because they were having a sale at Guitar Center, and she'd been like, I really want a guitar, and it was August, end of August, I'm pretty sure, or beginning of September. So I was like, well, let's go, knowing that I had the money, and I had already been, that was in my mom plan, and got it, and don't forget though, this is a early present, which for me means shit, because then when it just comes around I'm not comfortable not giving a gift or, whatever. It's a mom thing that, I'm doing my way. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, woo, I'm a little watching my budget, because of that, from being on a fixed income that is, kind of ridiculously low in our country, to live for even just me, but, as a single mom, $900 a month is not a lot. But it's fine, I can do it, but it is because of all of the choices that I make and the openness to, the flow and all of that. But it's, again, we're still living this practical reality. That's what I've always kind of called it. Versus, people out there talking about dimensional 3D, new earth, yada yada. Like the difference between being a, yogi in a cave, being a Sifu in a cave on Kauai in a valley, and, doing that there was much easier in the, like, sort of presence-ness. I would be having, in my area, my camp, which I had several. I like to try out different environments. But Eden, I just remembered that makes so much sense. Interesting. This sweet soul, sweet boy. Oh God, I loved him so much. I love him so much. But when I think about this, which, I have, but I'm talking about it, sort of, I would, on Kauai, and this is part of the bigger tapestry, my bigger story, whatever, is, being told by Kuan Yin, in my, 12, 13, 14, 15, that I would go to Hawaii, and I would know when, and I would know why. This is that big pivot point, that was, like a signpost in the future, while living in the, it's like, still there and whatever, but I'm doing me now, and like, whatever, that's in my pocket. But so when I did go, ended up on Kauai, not Maui as I thought. When I did think about it, that's where I thought I was going. And in the valley, I would, Eden, he's the guy, he's the, the metaphor, the story to illustrate this. I was in my camp, and I was just thinking about, I was being with myself, and, the environment, the, Pachamama, the island, woof, that island is definitely an entity, and a collection of entities, but I thought about something. I don't know if it was like, whether it was that someone was like, I needed to, for whatever reason, and boop, like Eden just showed up in my camp, and, you know, people would come and, you know, have little chats with me, and, you know, they were needing something or whatever, you know, it was a relationship, you know. But yeah, Eden is no longer in physical form here, which I heard about. I can't at the moment think of the cause of that. He was just a really special soul. Traveler, adventure, surfer, train hopper, you know. He had such a unique combination of innocence, like worldly innocence, and like soulful innocence, like just bright and shiny and full of absolute potential, in realized potential. Yeah, but, you know, just kind of like doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah, I just love him, you know, because I do come with a very, you know, analytical, bookish, you know, a mind that would be suited to, you know, be a lawyer or whatever, you know, make the dean's list in school. I did, but I was also, you know, failed high school because I was a third of a credit short, because I failed art and French, which, the story was, my story used to be like, oh, that was so unfair, and I was so pissed because, like, my French teacher knew, and my French teacher was blind, yeah, he was just one of those characters in my life, but it was an oral test, and I failed the oral French final exam by like one question that could have been interpreted as I got the question right, you know. Similar to a college class that I took after I decided art school was not for me, and my first philosophy class, we were supposed to take for the final, this is the positive or the whatever, you know, the happening that I agreed with, because I did pass, and, you know, I might have gotten an A- or like a B+ in, you know, at the time, what I was like, that is totally an A paper. But we were supposed to pick, you know, a philosophy. So, you know, and then write a paper on, you know, how we interpret that philosophy, basically. And, you know, certainly my professor was expecting, you know, Kant or one of the intro to philosophy philosophers and philosophies that she had taught us. or introduced to us or whatever in her curriculum. And I did my paper on Robert Fulghum's All I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And I took, the sort of 10 things that he says, like, flush. And I put that in terms of like utilitarianism or whatever it was. Like, I was showing her that I understood the material that she presented, but I took a different source, an outside source, as my framework, or that was the piece of me in it, my sauce, my student sauce, and it was like, what? I just remember there was some question about my choice. Another example of that was an English teacher that I had in Maryland, who I then, became friends with outside of school. But I was in, like, whatever AP English class or whatever English required composition or something. And we had to do like a book report, basically. And I had read The Color Purple, and, I was obsessed with it. And I just, whew. Yeah, it's one of those books. And I wrote my, whatever it was, book report, basically, in Sealy speak, broken English. And this is, 11th grade, or, yeah, I think it must have been 11th grade, because I was friends with her after, but I think the paper that I wrote and her honest response to it, and looking at me as a person, not a kid student, not a, like, you're less than me, so I'm not going, like, there's no room in my experience of you as a peer or even a teacher, but she was absolutely blown away by that paper, and it was a great paper. But, then let me, like, loose curriculum-wise, basically, like, just write, if we're reading a book, yeah, I had to read the book, but, just do you, and do the work, and show up, and, I'm not going to make you do things that you've clearly already, done somehow on your own or whatever before you get to my class. But yeah, that's just who I am, and it has worked out for me most of the time. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier. But then, like that French teacher, he just he was one of those people, he couldn't see me, so it wasn't my, like, weird hair or my whatever. It was energetically, and, like, it makes sense. It's really clicking, if you've been paying attention to all these, like, pieces that are like boop, 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 it's a tapestry, and, you're following all the threads. What Ché was talking about, and what I, touched on, of my awareness that, my light can make some people feel, small or dark or not as bright or whatever, instead of my light, like, ring, like being like coming together with your light, and together, the whole is more than the sum of its parts. it was oh, I wasn't used to having that impact on people. And then I became aware of it and started tweaking, my meanness, my light, my whatever, to not have that impact. And in doing so, I wasn't showing up fully, so I've learned that, and I knew even then that, but as a student, teacher, whatever, you have to figure out, if you're, I thought I was going to be a therapist, clinical, psychological, whatever, Jungian, was where that was leaning, as it was still, me not realizing that I'm already doing what, my job is. But, you have training, and it's well, you're not supposed to, you're supposed to just be there as needed, and let people come to their own realizations and, their own growth. And I have more, I respect that, and it is something that, I especially, looked at, am I impeding this person's growth or path or whatever, by with my presence, with this relationship, with, enabling, or, coddling, or any of those, helper, oh, bad helper, I don't limit myself to those rules, but I do pay attention to, what's going on. And I just come from a multi-dimensional, a lot of frameworks, philosophy, psychology, spirituality, this, that, da-da-da-da-da, experience, my inner, my whatever. So, yeah, anyway, whatever that was about, I don't know, but once you get to a place of comfort where you're not spooked out by, the devil isn't bad or evil, or, that is only true if it is true to you, and it is not true to me, which is what drew me to this message. People call it shadow work, getting comfortable with your parts that you have labeled as, bad or dark, or, woogly boogly, or someone else has given you that label. I tend to have been one that has tended to pick and choose what I'm willing to accept as a label given by someone other than, me and me. The I am that I am. Alright, but anyway, let's, that could be a cut point, or, but I'm just gonna keep it rolling. Oh, and make sure I don't record any credit card information or whatever private information that I have to consider taking out instead of just, uploading a video. Because, I do my part, and then it's up to you guys what, if you don't like 2, 3, 4 hour, messages, then you're not here still. If you do, then hello, welcome to the club. But anyway, so I'm gonna again do get my little morning reading that I picked out for myself, and apparently picked out for you as well. So let's just start this over, because I don't know how long I've been talking, but a lot longer than 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
There's almost so many messages that Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of Channel Your Light, Own Your Intuitive with myself, 𝑱𝒂ñ𝒖𝒂𝒓𝒚. Welcome. So I'm just going to roll with spirit here and the message that are coming through. There's almost so many messages that I feel like we need to divide them into paths, despite the fact that I need to trust the weaving of them.
I was just saying
a couple
that.
Things that have been coming through really intensely. The first one is there's somebody on here where you don't just have heaven backing you up, you have hell backing you up. And what that means is whoever this message is for, I feel like the shadows like nobody's business. You are not afraid of them. You have walked them, and you know the damn way out. You know the damn way out of the shadows. You also walk in the realms of the angelical realms, in the heavens, in the ethers, through multiple realms. You are welcome in multiple realms, is what I am hearing, through multiple dimensions. Whoever this message is for, you've got heaven standing at your back, and you've got hell standing at your back, who will both go to the plates with you, regardless of who shows up or what shows up. So this is a very intense message. And I feel like this is somebody who has transcended dark versus light, or the duality of all those things. Mastery is the words coming through. I'm being told to pick a Dreamweaver card for this. So it really feels like judge not, lest ye be judged. Let your dreams be woven true is the card that I am picking up on. And here's what's fascinating. I have to show you this card because the imagery is absolutely stunning. I want you to notice that there's two halves, two faces, as above, so below, and the eye in the middle, and streaming out either side. Let your dreams be woven true. I feel like this is a message for somebody who has hesitated on weaving their dreams because you haven't felt like somebody has your back. And although you have your back and you know the divine has your back, I really don't think that you understand that you have living spirit embodied and spirit disembodied, and all the realms and all the planetary systems backing you up to share whatever it is that you are meant and here to share.
Like
behold, behold is the word coming in. Physical. It is meant to be beheld. It is because there is truth woven through it. You came here as a creator, not to be created, but rather to create. And both and. It's almost like there's two storylines popping in here. Either you are being controlled, or you are learning to be the controller, if that makes sense. And it doesn't mean controlling other people. It's controlling you, or weaving you, not being afraid to allow your dreams to be revealed to you, allow everything to roll out of you. And whoever this is, I feel like, wow.
Thanks for your help, Aaron.
You need to know just how many people I'm hearing watch your back, as in you have your guides here saying that you have had to watch your back everywhere you've gone, both in the realms of light and both in the realms of dark. For in the light, there is dark triggered, and in the dark, there is light triggered. You have been in both places and had to watch your back in both places. Judge not, lest ye be judged. The reason that that message is coming through is about the judge and judgment. Almost like you were misjudged by both realms. I'm seeing a giant bullseye in the room, misjudged by both realms, underestimated by the dark and underestimated by the light, limited by both aspects, breaking the chains of both. And I say breaking the chains of both, not in the essence of, it's about duality. That's what it feels like. They're showing me it's like the yin and the yang, right? It's breaking the chains of the light and breaking the chains of the dark and becoming one. Becoming one is what it really feels like and seems like, because this and that are true. Oftentimes, how do you describe this? How do you look at beholding both things as truth? The only way to behold or view or perceive the light as truth and the dark as truth is to perceive it from the middle, from the one, from the balance. And I feel like that's what many in the collective will be called to do. And it will be frowned upon by many different belief systems for a number of different factors, for a number of different aspects and perspectives. However, that is ultimately the truth. Is it not? Is the dark not created by the one infinite creator? And is the light not created by the one infinite creator? Some people view as heaven and hell as two oppositions. However, this person has mastered the concept or the ideation, the understanding, the deep intrinsic knowingness of one and unity, because unity is not conformity. These are very two different aspects that are often viewed or conditioned. I'm hearing subliminal messaging, conditioning people publicly and openly to that conformity is unity. Meanwhile, that's not unity at all. And in addition, even in the dichotomy or the duality or the perception of separation, even in that, there technically is unity. I hope that you will catch the channel from 𝑓OᵘRÍß, who we dove into that a little bit deeper and further, both with my guides and my daughter Ava, as well as 𝑓OᵘRÍß, whom I absolutely adore. Anyways, so let your dreams be woven. I hope that you will catch the channel from 𝑓OᵘRÍß. Technically is unity. I hope that you will catch the channel from 𝑓OᵘRÍß, who we dove into that a little bit deeper and further, both with my guides and my daughter Ava, as well as 𝑓OᵘRÍß, whom I absolutely adore. Anyways, so let your dreams be woven true. You need to know that the universe has your back. You need to know this. It's almost like I'm getting this. It's like, you know that. That's not the thing. It's almost like, because you've had to tread in the dark and had to watch your back, and then you had to tread in the light and then also have to watch your back. That is absolutely the most disheartening, to see both sides of the dichotomy and recognize that neither have your back, that neither are your ultimate truth.
In the physical,
it's kind of like all the walls come crumbling down. And it is a process. Whoever this is, your reputation precedes you. You are 1 in a billion, 1 in 8 billion. There is a rareness to whoever this energy is. Of course, people do not understand you. Judge not, lest ye be judged. You have not judged others, and yet you have had multiple judgments placed on you. And while that is normal for the earthly realm, because those that judge are ultimately judging themselves based on what is making them right or making them wrong, or what they need to hold steadfast to. I'm getting that reference again of, my ego is upset when you do not accept me. Isn't that interesting? But that's my ego. And in the justice has been served, and in the divine, in the realms of the divine and the realms of one, if we are reconciling duality in the third dimension of integration and understanding, the only person that needs to accept you is you. So your ego gets upset and hurt, taking it personally when others do not accept you. And so too is it your
ego is not you. it is the, worldly projection of you. It's the little I. I am a woman. I am, but, I am, she is, you are, they are, bing, bang, bing, bang, digga, digga, ding, dang, And no matter how awake we are while we are here, on Earth, on YouTube, Donald Trump is president, all of that fun stuff. It's don't forget to remember who you truly are and act accordingly, basically,
Ego that does not accept the pieces and parts of yourself, that does not want to see the truth that is sitting right in front of you. For most of us, it's sitting right in front of us, right? Look further, dig deeper, and you will see what you did not see before. Oftentimes, our judgment and our shaming of who we are and where we're at in a certain moment, we don't realize that we are there for a specific reason, because that's a place that gets to show us what we didn't see before. And instead of us stopping being like, okay, what didn't I see before? Most of us just judge and shame ourselves. So judge not lest ye be judged, meaning you are the judge of you. And you are also the person who allows the judgments of others to be the judgment of you, if you so choose that, if you are not aware of that. And it's really fascinating. I'm getting the role of the judge. No one ever wants to take the role of a judge. To judge is to have to hold the weight and the burdens of ideas, concepts, and labels against each other. Judge not lest ye be judged. To release that judgment allows you to be free. It also allows them to be free, for they are called to be their own judge. Somebody placed a judgment on one of you that was completely unfounded, completely based in illusion. And this judgment was negative. It was very negative. It amplified a polarity that was simply unjust and untrue. This judgment will fall flat on its ass, is what I'm hearing. This judgment will fall flat on its ass. And here is why. Because you have hell at your back and you have heaven. There is no differentiation. Ito ora, whoever this is, I know why you're so rare. You don't engage with people for financial reasons. You don't engage in people because you want them to like you. You don't engage in situations because you think you're going to gain something from that dynamic or that relationship.
Transactional.
You engage with people when you're guided to. And because of this belief system, there are many people that took advantage of this. However, I'm hearing the tables have turned, because it does not matter if you're moving in the realms of people's shadows or walking with torches in the darkness. I'm hearing hungry ghosts. It does not matter if you walk there or if you walk in the brilliant, blinding light. It does not matter which side you walk on. The devil's going to stand up and have your back, and so is God. If you attune to that dynamic, I guess you could say, both and, you are free, is what I'm hearing. It doesn't matter if it's heaven or hell, light or dark, the upper world, angelical realms, or the lower world, or the worlds of Hades, is what I am hearing. And this is the beauty of Persephone, goddess Persephone as well. There is both and. It does not matter where she walks. She is held and protected by both. This is because she does not judge one nor the other, is what my daughter Ava is saying. And I have...
Hi, Ava.
I have a massive, it's just a huge group of guides. And they're all saying the same thing. When you release judgment of yourself, you then release judgment of others. One cannot release judgment of others if they are continuing to judge themselves. And this is the dichotomy of as within, so without. In releasing judgment of the self, so too do you release judgment of others. This is absolute and ultimate freedom, because it is a state of mind of no longer needing to shape and mold or bring others to you or help others in a certain way or having people agree with you. Your ego is the only thing that gets upset when others do not accept you or agree with you. When you release this paradigm, you open into another world that is neither heaven nor hell, neither a judgment of shadow or light, because both worlds hold deep wounding, whether one acknowledges this or not. Oh, Luna. Luna's crying. Come here, beauty. Oh. Pull another card. We're going to go with I'm being told to go with the angel deck. So we're going to pull another card for the angel deck on here with a message specifically for this. Angels teach us more about goodness and light than we will ever learn from this world. So the additional messages that are coming through with that, where do angels walk, my friends? This is a message for an earth angel. There's an earth angel where you have been placed in multiple situations of shadow and all of those things. If you are an earth angel, know that you have gone to those places because that's where we place angels, where people need them the most. And they teach us about goodness and light. They teach us about forgiveness. They teach us about compassion. Whoever you are, you've walked with people in suffering, or you sense people suffering, and that is because you are an earth angel. You are there because you have the nuances. You are learning to hold space for people's suffering in its absolute darkness. This also helps you to attune to the reason why people choose the things they choose, why they behave in the way that they behave. It is not a judgment of darkness, nor is it a judgment of light. It is finding goodness in all things. I'm being told to pull one more angel card in reference to that. When you walk through you can't make this up. When you walk through the valley of shadows, learn to feel the presence of your angels. It will be like walking into warm sunshine in comparison to feeling that you have walked alone and you are surrounded by shadows. Again, I'm getting this imagery and I'm getting this statement, which is so interesting because this was a number of months ago. I heard the statement loud and clear: she who walks with torches amidst the hungry ghosts. When you walk through the valley of shadows, because the shadows exist, learn to feel the presence of your angels that walk with you. Earth angels, know that you have an entire team of angels that surround you. And it is through your experiences in the shadows that allows you to attain freedom, and have great and deep compassion and understanding. Once you learn to feel the presence of your angels, you are not alone. That concept of you are not alone becomes so intense and powerful and profound that you are able to walk in the bowels of hell and the angelical realms and honor the sacredness of both for what they are, what they provide, and what they teach you. And it will be like walking in warm sunshine in comparison to the dark coldness of night, is what I am hearing. Both have intrinsic value. Wow. Oh, no, now I'm being told to go to the in bulk deck, so I will get that one out here. And I'll pull a card from that. I love when the dominant energy of the cards pulls through. Angelica, we have had this before. I have to show you this card. It's card number 2. 2s are always my daughter, Ava. Angelica is the angelical realms, which is exactly what we're talking about as well. It says, the bells have rung, chiming far and near. Underneath feathered wings, my dear. You have...
Sorry,
my daughter, Ava. Angelica is the angelical realms, which is exactly what we're talking about as well. It says, the bells have rung, chiming far and near. Underneath feathered wings, my dear. You have nothing to fear. There's this idea of, I'm hoping you can see this card, that's the angels in the darkness of the night that are lighting the light with the light of the star. Notice the angelical realms. They're not afraid of the shadow realms. They're not afraid of hell or the constructs or the ideas of what that is made up of. They are able to wander anywhere and everywhere because they are here to teach compassion, goodness, light, forgiveness. and bring great healing to the lands. You will notice her on the earth plane in the card with the wolf beside her, lights the candles and look out, child. Look up, child. She is looking up. There's a lot of mothy energy, which is very deep transformation. And you will notice she wears a crown upon her head as she looks up of crystals. It is not a crown of golden ore. It is not a crown of flowers. It is a crown of rhombohedron crystals is what I'm hearing. So that's related to the pineal gland and those conductors of energy and receptors of energy as well. It is moving with the divine realms. That could not be a more perfect card, illuminating that the angelical presence of angels in the dark is very, you have nothing to fear. That's just what it keeps coming out as. You have nothing to fear. Whoever this is, you've got hell that will stand its ground and stand up for you, and you've got heaven that will stand its ground and stand up for you. And this is because you have relinquished the judge. So we're going to pull one more Dreamweaver card. This is an interesting message, particularly because, you know, we're coming into a space where the polarity and the duality is extreme. I'm right and you're wrong. And if you don't see my way, it's wrong. There's all those dynamics. And while many things are being brought to justice, I'm seeing the justice card from the tarot, justice being balanced, justice being righted, karma being righted, what was done in the dark shall be brought to the light. It's also an internal aspect, right? What's done in the dark, or the darkness of the illusions that we see or believe or tell ourselves in the stories. But it's really fascinating that this is the message coming out. I'm hearing hold your ground, hold your ground, hold your frequency, regardless of the darkness that comes. For if you are to hold the goodness and the light, you cannot be afraid of the shadows. I'm seeing the yin yang as well again. So we'll pull one last card for this message for whoever this earth. I feel like this is a message for a starseed, an earth angel.
Same.
If the river flows this way, rivers are really significant right now. I'm also going to show you this card too. There are two hands. I always relate it to the Hamsa with the eyes in the middle on either side of the river. Oh my gosh, please go and watch the channel with 𝑓OᵘRÍ because it is literally about the two banks of the river. It's also related to a Buddhist chant that comes in with it as well. And the river flows this way. So if we've got this river and the river is flowing and the souls are flowing to the light, moving down river on the lazy river, I'm seeing people laying in their tubes on the lazy river. That's the imagery that I'm getting. Know that both sides of the banks are protected. Heaven and hell, left and right, both sides. You are being protected from both sides. And I feel like both sides are judgment. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but sometimes when we move into the light fractal or a distorted light, that distorted light can sometimes be projected onto the darkness, but really it's the darkness within the light that's projecting to the darkness. And the darkness is simply showing them that there's that dichotomy as well. This and that are true, says Ram Dass. There are many dichotomies and nuances, and we often search for one true meaning, and we tend to cling on or tend to hold steadfast to that one true meaning because it's how we are able to attune or make logical sense of certain aspects and nuances of this universe and how we fit into the earth plane on this world where there are many things that are dark and many things that are light. There are many different aspects that are highlighted and viewed from. Seeing both sides of the story always allows one to flow. It allows one to detach. Both sides are protected. You are protected as you flow on the river of ascension, both from the left side and the right side. You are protected from both and with both. So any lower dense frequency or vibrations that it's on the light side or the dark side, you're being protected from them. And as well, both the light side and the dark side, the higher frequencies, a greater understanding, sixth dimension is coming in. Both aspects and both sides of the dynamic or duality is also protecting you in the higher realms and in the ethers. It's really fascinating to know this. Whoever this message is for, somebody tried to shut you up. And I feel like it came from both sides. You've had people on the light trying to shut you up, and you've had people on the dark side trying to shut you up. And whoever this says, you triggered the fuck out of a lot of people. And that is not because you're a trigger. That is not because you're the problem. You simply illuminated the deeper problem in the unseen on both aspects. This is why you are being protected by both sides, heaven and hell, above and below. There is the please, please, please. The bells have rung. Chiming far and near, internally and externally, underneath the feathered wings, my dear, you have absolutely nothing to fear.
I like that image.
So whoever this is, your mission is very clear. I feel like your mission, to me, it is very, very clear. Nothing holds a candle to the light that you have ignited. And the light that you ignite, it's not that it's the light, it's the one. It's nothing holds a candle to you is what I'm hearing. Absolutely nothing could hold a candle to you. And you understanding or hearing this message or knowing that is absolutely your greatest superpower. When you suddenly start to get privilege, when you suddenly start to understand what has been surrounding you, the presence, a strong presence. It's both spirit embodied and spirit disembodied. Like when I say heaven and hell, the earthly realms and the angelical realms, like I'm talking all of it. If you actually stopped for a moment and really sat in this understanding, you would, I'm seeing the Chariot card, zero hesitation, zero blockage, zero giving a fuck is how it's coming through. You would just rock and roll with it. It is life altering and life changing when you see this. And I feel like it's just going to happen like that. It's almost like you're just doing your everyday thing or the thing you naturally do, rocking and rolling with the divine or with your life or with the flow of the river. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa. You just suddenly feel it. It's like more than a feeling. And it might be fleeting or something to that effect. It might feel like it's almost like you've been really working on both aspects, the dark and the light. And it's not judging one against the other or pitting one against the other. You've been moving in both as a sacred task. You have had a sacred task. Whoever this is for, the reason it's so hard is because it's so freaking sacred and it's not for many people to accept at this time. Legacy, it leaves a legacy.
Playing with plastic.
Wow, I just, whoever this is, thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for being here. Thank you for rolling in both realms. Thank you for, I feel like you're the transformation queen. That's what's coming in. The transformation queen. And correction. Sorry, the divine is correcting me. Correction. This is no queen.
Yeah.
This is indeed an empress. This is someone who has an angel wing on one side, a fairy wing on the other. Where's the crown of the ocean? Where's the crown of Gaia? Where's the crown of crystals? And where's the crown of ore? This is a natural alchemist. This is someone who has walked, I'm hearing many lives, many masters. This is somebody, you are many, many lives and many, many masters. And this is the culmination life. And this is actually why somebody wants to shut you up on both sides, because it cracks the illusion of the light and it cracks the illusion of the dark. It is an ending. Both sides, as above, so below. It's like both sides come to your aid, no matter what it is. And anytime someone feels that they can utilize the dark or utilize the light to manipulate you in any way, the joke is always going to be on them. And the reason why is you don't even need to know. You don't even need to know that somebody's manipulating you. Make no mistake. I've got heaven and hell standing up here, writing it no matter what. Because the divine has its hands in everyone and in everything. There is absolutely nothing that is secret in the eyes of the divine. Both heaven and hell have got your back, whoever this message is for. And you have had this sacred task of walking in the dark and the light. You have also experienced a lot of wounding, but the wounding is because you, Earth Angel, you did not understand the reason you were there.
Yeah.
That's why you have wounding. When we pull back into this dynamic of look at the third dimension or the triad, we have the dark and the lights. Look at it as the Holy Trinity, mind, body, and spirit. You can look at this in a multiple facet, right? Dimensions, experience, expression, integration, and understanding. You're moving from the third aspect. So what's the third aspect? It's spirit. What's the third aspect? It's integration and understanding. It's so many different things. If you look upon those different aspects, it's also inner power. If you look at chakra energy centers, it's that golden ray frequency of wisdom, of the innate power within you, which doesn't require the dark or the lights because it's the power within as one. So whoever this is, you have like a crazy sacred task. You have walked through some incredibly dark shadows. And yes, you've had wounding. I'm hearing this is, the wounding is deep spiritual cleansing and purging at this time. When you suddenly understand Earth Angels are placed in those shadow realms because you're learning.
This whole Earth Angel starseed, all of that is, I'm like, maybe, it tracks. See, that's my energy shift saying like, okay, it's almost wrap it up time, but this is, yay and perfect, and I can't wait to hear what you make of it, what you receive, from this, tribe of people that I, work with behind, when I'm not opening the window, the door, the whatever. This is just, a day in the life kind of a thing. But it's been a minute since I have last spent time with Aaron and Ava and, those that I prayed for. Thank you.
Lessons of goodness and light, not because it was a punishment or why did this person do this to me. That is all old paradigm. I'm hearing that's a totally old paradigm, outdated, outnumbered, and completely shifted outside of it. It has no bearing on you anymore. And if it still does, let this be your message that no more. I'm hearing it shall no more. Whoever this is, you have a very sacred task, and you have been weaving. And if you feel like you've been to all these places, know that you've been gathering everything required for the weaving for your specific mission. And you are your mission, which is why you had to be there in order to do the mission, because the mission happens through you, as you, because of you. And if you are not in there where you need the wisdom and the experiences of that weaving or mission, you can't really fulfill your mission or your purpose in that aspect either. We often ask, what is my purpose? Well, your purpose will always begin with you and doing you and focusing on you. It's always going to begin with you, because you can't get to your purpose without you. That's why you are your purpose. And when you do you, you're automatically led on the path to your purpose. So for some of you, the places you have walked, you've been transmuting light or transmuting darkness and transmuting light. It's almost like there's no difference for whoever this message is for. It's not about dark and it's not about light. It's simply about the experiential process on the human 3D earth plane and leaving a dang legacy, whoever this is for. You have such a sacred mission. All of these cards, I just want to highlight this. Every single card I pulled from 3 different decks. What did the angels talk about? Angels teaching us goodness and light as we learn in this world. Then we had, when you walk through the valley of the shadows, feel the presence of the angels. And here we are, the Dreamweaver deck. Both are opposites, the duality, right? Look at the Let Your Dreams Be Woven True, which is the card number 5. That is as above, so below. There's the tree above and there's the water below with the two faces and the eye in the middle. If we look at the 𝒂ñ𝒄 card where it was the dark and the light, you will notice that that's the opposition as well, right?
And
the angelical realms in the dark and her on the earth plane in the light. She's in the white area. The last card, which was also from the Weaver's deck, is the river with both opposite sides on the left and the right, both banks being protected.
Horizontal, vertical.
You can't make this up.
Diagonal.
You just can't. I love that how synchronistic the cards are. One more angel card. Nope, I'm here. We don't need one more angel card. This transmission is complete, and the messages that were relayed for this person is do not stop. Keep going. There is a golden thread that you are weaving, making, it's almost like you're weaving it from the divine and weaving it onto the earth plane. And I'm hearing absolutely nothing can stop you. It does not matter if the dogs are barking on the left and the cats are scratching jealously on the right. That shit don't matter. And do you want to know why that don't matter? Ooh, I have a Hebrews quote for you from the angel deck. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unaware. Sometimes straight Hebrews 13:2. You never know where you have encountered an earth angel. Oh, this is actually, I heard no, don't pull a card for this deck, but it flipped out. So clearly I wasn't pulling, the card was choosing itself. This is an important message because when we think of earth angels, we have this idea that they're this person that makes us feel wonderful and beautiful and they have all this light around them. But sister, brothers, there are earth angels walking in the deep, dark depths, in the experience of it, in aid of others, and also learning goodness and light in those too. So be not forgetful. Sometimes a complete stranger is actually an earth angel. So be mindful. Pay attention to those around you, because you never know when you just looked into the eyes of God. And in addition, you are always looking into the eyes of God and the divine, because it's what created you. Creator created you. You are looking into the eyes of Creator every time you look upon another human being or look within another human being. You will find a light so bright in the darkness within that it cannot be forgotten. So be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for you are often entertaining angels and are completely unaware. So I will leave that message with you. I hope this resonates. Let me know in the comments if it does. If that's you walking both sides, I feel like confirmation just keeps coming through loud and clear. If you wish to connect with me for a private session, a one-on-one, or to join the intuitive courses, please feel free to connect with me on my website. You can find that in the video description box below. And of course, I will see you on the next video.
Yay! Alright. This is where I say ciao for now. Because my energy is... it's been in the outflow, and now I need to just keep it for myself, get a little recharge, all that good shit. Alright, but you know, make of this what you will, take of this what resonates. If you're still here, holy shit, yay, let me know. I still haven't gotten a comment other than my kiddo, which I love that she was my first comment, and I, you know, wouldn't want it any other way, and you know, neither would she probably, at least now. But you know, she supports you, you know, coming into her space. Because, you know, when she turned 10, she's like, all right, Mama, you can have some of your time back and your energy and do, you know, things that I don't know about. that have nothing to do with me. So, but boy, oh boy, has she come full circle in the 3 years, you know, since I realized, like, oh, hey, okay, she doesn't need me quite as much in the, you know, on deck, riding the waiting, you know, bench, or actively playing the mom game, you know, in the game, whatever, you know what I'm saying. All right, much love. I'm out of here. Ciao for now. Whoops.